The 2026 World Cup is fast approaching and we are left with just 116 days for the competition to kick off. And when you look at all the top nations that are going to participate in that competition, right? You look at all the nations: France, Spain, England, Portugal, Argentina, Brazil, and many other, even Colombia. You get to ask yourself questions. How is the 2026 World Cup is going to look like? Now, do you know why I'm recording this video? It's because of the condition of so many players that we are expecting to see a lot from them in that competition. Now, let me start with the current champions, the current world champion, Argentina. When you look at the Argentina national team, right now, just two players are in form. Just two Argentinian players are in form: Lautaro Martinez and Enzo Fernandez. These are the only Argentinian players that are in form right now. Their defender Romero is not in form. Lionel Messi is not even playing. Remember, Inter Miami is currently on break. The season was over for them. So, even at the moment, Lionel Messi is looking injured. We look at Julian Alvarez, he's not cooking. And many other players, maybe Inigo Martinez is even trying. You get to ask yourself questions. How is the competition going to look like? Because all of the key players are not playing. Just two players. Two. Let me take three. Let me say Martinez, the goalkeeper of Aston Villa. Why am I calling Inigo Martinez? The goalkeeper of Aston Villa, Enzo Fernandez, and Lautaro Martinez. These are the only three Argentinian players that are doing something now. The rest of them, they are not doing anything. I don't know how they are going to compete in the competition. Now, let us look at Brazil. When you look at Brazil, right? Vinicius Junior is a flop. Rodrigo is a flop. Now, Guimaraes picked up an injury with Newcastle and he's set to return around May. The competition is set to begin around the 11th of June. And Bruno Guimaraes is set to return around April, May. He's injured. We are left with 116 days to the competition. 116 days to the competition. Neymar Junior, 0. Richarlison, 0. Apart from João Pedro, who plays for Chelsea, which other Brazilian player is really cooking out there? William Estevao is not having time. Today you watch him, tomorrow you don't even see him. Today you watch William Estevao, tomorrow you don't even see him. Endrich is on loan with Lyon. How is Brazil going to participate in a competition? Let us keep Brazil also aside, because when I think of the case of Bruno Guimaraes, I feel bad for him. Lucas Paqueta left West Ham, returned back to Brazil, joined Flamengo because he wants to prepare for the World Cup. I don't even know how Carlo Ancelotti is going to survive. Now let us leave South America. When you look at Colombia, before I leave South America, when you look at Colombia, there is one particular player, Luis Diaz. The form of Luis Diaz is the form where if he takes it to the World Cup, bro, he's going to be looking scary. If he can take that form with Bayern Munich to the World Cup, it's going to be scary. So let me leave South America. Now, come to Europe. When I land in Europe, the favorite to win the 2026 World Cup is Spain. When you look at the Spanish national team, injuries is taking away some of their players. Look at their striker, the guy who plays for Sporting for FC Porto. I've forgotten that his name. He's going to miss the World Cup because of ACL. You look at this Arsenal midfielder, Moreno. He might miss the World Cup. He's injured. He might miss the World Cup. Rodri, who plays for Man City, is not in form. He's not in form. I think Zubimendi is one of the key. Zubimendi, David Raya. These are the two Spanish players in the Premier League that are really cooking. They are the only two that are really cooking. You come to the Premier League, even the defenders we are counting on. Dean Huijsen is a flop. Paul Kubasi is a flop. Lamine Yamal is cooking. Nico Williams, a flop. A flop. Like, how is the competition even going to look like? Like, how is the 2026 World Cup is going to look like? You cannot clearly tell the favorite when looking at the players. Because if you are calling favorite to win the 2026 World Cup, it's because of the name of the nation. Because when you look at the active players now, most of the players that we think we are going to do something are flops. When we leave Spain, go to England, Jude Bellingham, the biggest flop of the season. Where is Jude Bellingham? and today he's injured. He's said to be out for 8 to 10 weeks. 8 to 10 weeks. How many weeks are we left for the 2026 World Cup to kick off? You look at the same England, Bukayo Saka, another flop of the season, and no one is talking about it. When was the last time Bukayo Saka scored a goal for Arsenal? Cole Palmer is not looking fit. Almost all the goals he scores every weekend are penalties. Almost all the goals he scores are penalties. So I think the only English player that's really informed, the top player is a Harry Kane. Harry Kane is the only top English player that is informed. Eberechi Eze, another flop. And in less than 4 months time, let me just say in less than 5 months time, we are going to be going to the USA, Canada, and Mexico for the competition to kickstart. Right? And most of these guys are just flopping. Like, I don't understand. Now when we look at France, Ousmane Dembélé, ever since he won the Ballon d'Or, nobody is talking about him. Desiree Doué, nobody is talking about him. Apart from Kylian Mbappé and Michael Olise. Which other French player is really cooking? Apart from Kylian Mbappé and Michael Olise, everybody's a flop, man. Kamavinga, Chouameni, today he's playing well, tomorrow he's not playing well. But I can count Chouameni, Kylian Mbappé and Michael Olise as French players that are really cooking. When you look at the goalkeepers, Mike Maignan with AC Milan, the guy is drinking goals like water every weekend. You look at another country like Portugal. I think Portugal, when you look at Portugal, Cristiano Ronaldo is in form, but with his age, it's going to be looking very, very, very complicated at the level of the competition. He might be cooking in Saudi Arabia because all of those guys in Saudi Arabia, there is no difference between them and people that are 70 and 80 years old. All of them are looking lazy. Now, Vitinha, I think Vitinha is cooking. João Neves is also cooking. Bruno Fernandes is cooking. Then Ruben Neves is also cooking. And even Rafael Leao is also cooking. So Portugal might go into the competition as one of the favorites because of the current form of their players. I mean, because of the current form of their players. You like look around Europe. Bruno Guimaraes is injured for Brazil. Jude Bellingham is injured for England. Michael Moreno is injured for Spain. And we don't know. We still 12 more Premier League games are left. The Carabao Cup is still there. The FA Cup is still there. The Champions League is still there. Europa League is still there. Conference League is still there. We don't know if at the end of all of these competitions, how many more players are going to be out. God forbid. I don't want such a thing to happen. But it is football. Anything can happen. Like, I don't understand, man. Like, injuries after injuries. Anyways, let's see how the competition is going to look like because this 2026 World Cup, everyone is looking up to it. Guys, I'm going to end the video here. But before I end the video, 116 days are left for the competition to kickstart. 116 days for the 2026 World Cup. And if this is the first time you have come across the channel, hit the thumb up to the video, subscribe to the channel, make sure you share the video to 1 or 2 persons, and let me know your predictions. Who do you think is going to win the 2026 World Cup? Who do you think is going to win the 2026 World Cup? Share the video to 1 or 2 persons, and see you until my next video.